Everybody, we are back. It is Taped to Lodge, favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite is everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John for me, at mholder95 for Matt, at Glen Rockley for Glenn, and of course pandasubs.com discount code TDL for 35% off. All right, we're going a little early here. Because it is late preseason, and it's getting late at night. Let's keep it real, man. It's almost 10 o'clock. So we're getting a good drive here from Gus Bradley. So expecting people to start joining us pretty soon here. Carter Bradley, that's called Gus, didn't I? That's hilarious. Yeah. So we're getting a nice little drive here from Carter Bradley to end this. And what was he doing? Oh, we get a touchdown. We got a touchdown. Oh no, he dropped it. So see, that's what we're not watching. You see, you already saw it. You already saw what we're not watching already. So how are you guys feeling after watching this game? It wasn't a lot of starters, mostly Nathan Peterman and some of those other guys that were playing right now, but not too much starters or anything like that. So it's kind of just trying to see the depth on this team a little bit. So what were you guys, some of your thoughts on this preseason game so far?
I mean, I can't really remember him standing out too much in the first game, but Tyreek McAllister did exactly what he needed to do and made the coach's decision, or made the coaches have to have a tough decision. Dude, running back the punt return for a touchdown and a couple nice plays in the air. I don't know what he finished with, but had that 35-yard nice adjustment on the touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an open spot for the Raiders at the bottom of the depth chart for the Raiders wide receivers, and we know they need a punt returner too. And like I said, did exactly what he needed to do tonight to at least make the coaches think about it when they get to his name on cut down day.
It's gonna be tough, right? Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Yeah. And for me, it's watching Amari Gaynor, Charles Snowden. I mean, guys like that. Yeah. That's kind of. I mean, Charles Snowden's 6'7", bending better than the other 6'7" guy, 6'7" guy that got taken 7th overall, who I thought should have been playing tonight, honestly, in my opinion, Tyree Wilson. But it's been good. I mean, Amari Gaynor looks like a future starter. I mean, it's kind of weird when you watch him. He just seems to pop up. He's big. He's everywhere he needs to be. He makes plays. People go backwards when he tackles them, and you're like, well, this linebacker room. Which fast forward a calendar year from today, I was like, linebacker, we're toast. But this linebacker room right now, you could say if Eichenberg's any good, could be one of the best position groups on the team, if not the best.
Yeah, Amari Gaynor looks really good. I think he makes the football team for sure. Maybe not for sure because Eichenberg's not out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so how many linebackers do they keep?
But Masterson,
he didn't play today either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is weird. It's weird because he didn't even play.
Yeah,
it kind of makes me think. It kind of makes me think that they might keep more. They might end up keeping 6 linebackers and only 4 safeties because I don't know what's going on with Trey Taylor, but he hasn't played since the first preseason game. And I don't know if they gave him like an injury, if he's had an injury or what. But I could see them maybe trying to stash him on IR or something like that, and rolling with the 4 safeties, the starters, Paul Mao, and then maybe Chris Smith, and I ended up keeping that extra linebacker, especially because Gaynor can contribute on special teams. And again, like Glenn said, dude had another baller night tonight and MVP of the preseason for the Raiders for sure. So
yeah, Mark Gaynor has been balling, man. Carter Bradley just threw interception though, so I don't know if you might get your wish, Matt, and Peterman being the third quarterback.
That first drive from Bradley was promising. I'm like, damn, this dude's slinging around there is a noticeable difference between the velocity on his ball and every other quarterback that they have on the roster. But yeah, it felt like the Senior Bowl all over again, where you're like, okay, this guy's got something, and then he just starts ripping it, letting it rip everywhere he can. No control over the velocity, even on a few of those short passes, and then throwing the pick.
Yeah, I like Bradley a lot, and I mean I could imagine maybe Peterman makes it as the third, and I mean, does anyone actually put does any team claim Carter Bradley and keep him as quarterback 3? Anybody else? Probably not. Probably not. So you could practice squad Carter Bradley. I think that'd be totally fine. But I thought with Bradley, it's funny. I like a lot of what I see. I think he plays too fast. Have you know everything he does? He looks like he's rushing through everything.
Yeah.
That he had that play, which was nice, where he did the fake pitch and kind of rolled out a little bit, but it looked like you were hitting fast forward on the button. It was kind of like, man, just settle down a little bit, like, and that's what you learn. And if they have an opportunity to stash him on the practice squad, I'm all for it. And then Peterman's quarterback 3, even though I wasn't in love with what I saw. Sorry, Matt. I mean,
no, it wasn't great. It was disappointing. It broke my heart to watch. But yeah, Nathan Peterman did not have a great showing. But I think like you said, like if you think about the Raiders quarterback room, to take advantage of that third quarterback rule, which I know I've talked about a lot this last month, like it makes the most sense to keep those 3 guys, especially because Peterman knows the offense, and then stash Bradley on the practice squad. That way you have 4. God forbid something happen to one of the quarterbacks, and you have an immediate call up that you can bring up to the active roster and still have that emergency quarterback. So yeah. And again, Bradley, great first drive. Last part of it, not quite so much, but yeah, I like that. I like Glen's analogy. He's in fast forward. Everything's full speed. Everything's 100 miles an hour, including the 5-yard passes to running backs.
It's crazy.
Poor Britton Brown.
Yeah, I mean, he's also throwing everything super hard too, man. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
And also, I think one of the most disappointing guys that got a lot of buzz during camp and then didn't do anything in the games is Ramel Keaton. I thought,
see you later. I got that one where I laughed really hard because I don't know if it was Rich Gannon or Matt Millen. He had one where he looked like he just kind of quit on a route and the ball went in front of him because he was definitely going to take a hit, but one of them said that's a business decision. I'm like, no, the business decision is if you go make the play and take the hit. You don't have a business after this.
At least get the injury settlement.
Yeah, I think something.
Exactly, dude.
Oh man,
for a player, something. If it's a linebacker, you might like it. Oh man, he'll take a hit. Yeah.
And then they blamed him for they blame Carter Bradley for the drop he had after that. But I thought that, I mean, to me, if you're a wide receiver in the NFL, you're like this, and you drop it. That's come on, bro. Like, grow up. You know what I mean? Like, this is the NFL, bro. Like, this is not college.
No,
this is a catchable football. Like, I don't care if you're like this and you're totally stretched out the other way, that's fine. But if you're just turning your head like this, like, catch the damn ball. You know what I mean?
It was the wrong shoulder in a rocket, but yeah, like you said, like when you're trying to make the team, that's ball you got to haul it for sure.
You know
especially what I mean? I don't know what he's got against Carter Bradley, but what was it last game? Didn't he drop the one? Was it him? Was it him or Wilkerson that
was
the one
him?
drop?
That was him, man.
Right? Yeah, up the sideline. Yeah, I'm like, damn, dude, what did that guy do to you?
Well, and I think it's interesting. The only reason I think, and I'm not enthusiastic about this, but maybe they keep Wilkerson because Turner. If you keep Tucker, Turner, Guyton, and McAllister, what is the height on all those guys?
Wilkerson,
Wilkerson's the guy. I'm saying you might keep Wilkerson because you're like, maybe it's a big guy.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
but I guess is what I'm getting at. I don't necessarily know that that's my process that I'd want to do that, but I would get a coach going like, yeah, if Devontae Jacoby goes down, maybe you can put Tucker out there, but I'd still like to have somebody who can kind of go get a ball. So it'll be really interesting with McAllister. Keaton, I don't see even making the practice squad, even to be honest. We'll see. But Turner's obviously making the team. He didn't play tonight, but it's just a lot of small guys down the rung, I guess.
Yeah. Did Wilkerson play well either? I mean, that's the thing. I don't think Wilkerson's had the best preseason either. So, I would rather have Jalen Guyton playing than Wilkerson at this point, just because he's more of a veteran, and I've seen him play in games on film and things like that, and he just adds another speed element. He looks like he's pretty clear off his injury just from watching the film, especially from last week. So I would hope that they would do that, but to be honest, man, when I watch some of this, it just goes back to kind of Tom Telesco a little bit, and maybe we could have this conversation about depth on his football teams. Right, I'm so scared that this team has some injuries. I am. I'm a little terrified if they start having some injuries of what could happen, and especially at DB. And because you were talking about, I know Sam Webb made that play, even though that was more of a Deebo Samuel drop than him making that play. But if these guys go down in the secondary, like even at safety, You know what I mean? At corner, like what really happens? You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting to see what the depth is. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
It's true. I mean, I think you're right. There's a lot of there's a lot of top end, not top end talent. And there's a lot of guys that I'm excited by. But if you get bit by that bug, and a lot of teams have it. I mean, I know strength and conditioning. It's a thing you can value in your team, but there's a lot of teams that just don't have that. I don't know they get bit by the injury bug over a 2-week spread, and then after a while, it's like, okay, are we going to play Chris Smith? These other guys, that's who the Raiders have, and I really hope they're active on the cut. On roster cuts. Like I'm looking at this guy Mason for the Niners. I mean, maybe he's there, but what if they cut him and keep Garendo, right? Because Garendo looked good, and they cut this Mason guy who, if you got James Craig as your O-line coach now, I think, man, it's something I do. I want them to do that to kind of bolster up the back end, some depth, because I think we all believe, besides quarterback, there's a lot of top end talent on this team. But as you said with Telesco, and even you saw it on the Chargers, you start playing these like UDFA guys, and then you're going, man, they're growing. It's like, yeah, but we need competent players out there.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I had internet problems, so I had to cut out there for a second. Missed a little bit of what you guys were saying, but yeah, no. As far as the depth goes, like we talked about when Telesco got hired, always been an issue, and I think the other spot too that we're kind of seeing the problem too, and this is, I think, a big part of like the whole how they can't stop the run in the preseason, is the defensive tackle depth is not there either. Like you look at, like we've talked about how bad Brian Murphy was, what has been the preseason this season, and this game too, he was getting pushed around against the run, did end up getting the sack. But I think that's another spot too, where you look at it like, if one of those starters goes down, like John Jenkins, Christian Wilkins, God forbid one of those guys goes down, like they're screwed in the middle. Like they really don't have another backup defensive tackles right now that I'd feel confident in playing. I mean, even Nesta has his moments, but like Nesta's still so up and down. Like it's like riding the roller coaster with him that, again, they're one injury away from being really screwed on the D line and really screwed on the middle of that unit. But and wide receiver is kind of the same way too. Like I know we're talking about Jalen Guyton, but like at the same time, I haven't really been all that impressed with him in the preseason either. It's not like he's like a difference maker to me.
Yeah, could you imagine like if like Christian Wilkins or even like Adam Butler went down? You know what I mean? Like, and then you have to play like Byron Young or even like Matthew Butler or somebody like that. You know what I mean? That's where it gets funky for me, is when you have to play those type of guys and kind of see what's happening with that, because it just doesn't feel good in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like the depth on this team, and that was always a Tom Telesco problem. So it feels like that's a constant problem right now, and it's just, you could just tell. I mean, even like how they're performing in the preseason. I even feel like Dave Ziegler. We talk about how they went undefeated all the time, right, in the preseason. But part of that is because I thought they did a better job of having some depth. You know what I mean? Yeah. And right now, like we don't. I just don't feel too good about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. They and then they got all this money. Like who to be saving all this money for is my problem too. Is like what are we exactly saving this money for? You haven't paid Kuntz, you haven't paid Hobbs, you haven't paid Morik. Like, are you saving it for like that? I don't know. Like, what are you saving it for? So hopefully they spend it, because even Stephon Gilmore went to the Vikings, and we can talk about quarterbacks, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they got Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? Like, we could have easily gave him $10 million. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's a little bit worrisome with the depth, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It is strange. And what are they saving it for? Maybe it's extensions for guys that are on the team right now. And I surely, you have the Hobbs, Merrig, who knows when Crosby's up, for his next big one. Perhaps they're doing that. But yeah, it starts to get a little thin, and especially on the D line, where if this D line isn't, I mean, dare I say, dominant, I'm not sure this team does anything this year. So I would try to go add some D linemen, especially because that position group to me is the lifeblood of this team. Like that's the only way. Every scenario that I can draw up where the Raiders are good, the D line's dominant.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, go find some camp cuts, go get like how they used to go get guys like Jonathan Hankins. Just go get guys like that. Just guys to where you don't lose too much if your 37-year-old nose tackle happens to not be that good this year, or gets hurt. Maybe don't bank on that. And if you want guys to where it's just a slight step down, or even just treading water, rather than this, I hope this guy out of Sam Houston State is really good, in this game, week 7 game. I don't want to do that.
Hey, put some respect on PJ Hall. He's Sam Houston, right?
Yeah, he did.
Maybe. Didn't he do it? Was it his big thing? He could do like a backflip or something.
Yeah,
he's a freak.
Yeah,
One thing,
freak athlete, not a great football player.
Yeah.
Reggie McKenzie second round classic. Let's say that Reggie McKenzie.
That was
just throwing darts to the board. I mean, Mario Edwards still in the league, though. To be fair,
Brandon Parker's still in the league.
Jihad Ward too, bro. Jihad Ward.
Jihad Ward's still in the league. Yeah.
Brandon Parker just made this Charles Snowden highlight reel that you can Google if you're a family member of Charles Snowden.
Hey, Snowden had a good game today. He had like 3 QB hits and a sack.
Yeah, man, dude. He's balling out. I have the hard time keeping him off this team right now.
I mean, it doesn't say they need as much depth as it can, man.
Okay, so you have Crosby, Kuntz, Tyree's gonna make the team.
Yeah.
Robinson is a guy. I mean, he's absolutely a ball player, and he's gonna be a part of this team. You're gonna need that, like, kind of.
It's gonna come down between Ellerson Smith and Snowden. And I mean, Ellerson Smith had a good game last week. Snowden had a better game this week. I don't know.
And I keep the 6'7" guy every time.
Ellerson Smith's also 6'7".
Yeah. Is he? Oh, they're both 6'7".
Is he?
Yeah, both big dudes.
Oh man, Snowden just looks like a tree.
Maybe bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where's Snowden from? Is Snowden a rookie?
No, he's been in the league. He was drafted by Chicago, and then he was I can't remember where he's from, like the 2021-2022 draft. He's just never hung around too long on a roster, but this is year 4 in the league, like he's played. So to me, that's depth, is you keep a guy like that.
I was off. Yeah. Ellerson Smith is 6'6".
Yeah, get out of here, Matt. No, I'm just kidding.
You're close enough, Matt.
He's a child. He's tiny. Yeah.
He's like 2 pounds heavier, though.
Yeah, get that little baby off the field.
6'6", bro. Okay. Yeah, those are big dudes, though. Yeah, because that's all I think about when I watch this team is like the depth. Because especially at the secondary, man, the secondary is so scary to me. Like, if you don't want to talk about these things, but it's football. You know what I mean? Like,
guys get hurt.
Players get banged up. Nate Hobbs is banged up already.
Yeah,
and they're putting Palomar at slot.
And Hobbs the last couple of years been banged up, right? It's been maybe was last year healthy? No, I felt like he was banged up a little bit last year too. But 2 years ago, he was on IR. Been hurt a little bit. Last couple of years.
Who's the backup slot? Who's the backup slot corner on this team? Do you think right now?
Well, earlier this week, it was Isaiah Palomar.
That's what I'm like,
6'4".
whoa.
Which that's not where I exactly want him.
Yeah.
Like, you might as well put Morrig there. Play Morrig, bro. What's that?
Like, is it Woo Governor? That's why I'm trying to, like, who's the guy?
He did. I don't think he played tonight. Yeah.
He played. He was in that fumble. He was in that pile for the fumble. Yeah.
I was like, wow.
I mean, he definitely played. But again, you're right, Marcus. People always go, well, we have this guy. I go, I know, but it's football. Guys get hurt. So you're not going to have an answer everywhere, and not everywhere is going to be good depth. I get that, but it's like every position group, really, linebacker's the one I feel the best about right now, where I'm like, man, there's going to be guys that might be tough cuts at that position.
Yeah,
but
otherwise, most quarterback. I mean, we talk about the quarterback, but at least you got some depth there.
Right? You're quite linear.
Last week,
yeah, it's very linear depth, but yeah, it's not the classic chart that you would follow, but yeah,
there's a lot of oars.
A lot of oars. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's depth there.
Yeah, man.
I'm just saying, man. I don't know. It just feels. That's what worries me about this team, and I just feel like once we get to the deeper parts of it, it gets so I don't know, it just gets so iffy, man. But we'll see. Hopefully they're healthy, and we don't have to worry about anything like that. But it's just gonna happen because offensive line, I think they got some depth too.
Yeah,
they got some depth there because
that guard.
Yeah, except the guard. You know what I mean? Like Jax Paris-Johnson, Cody Whitehair, he's not having a good preseason in my opinion, even when I'm watching him. And Pete, I guess, but those are backup offensive linemen, but still, I feel better about those guys coming in for injured player than I do DeCarrion Richardson or MJ Devonshire. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, Glay. I mean, I will say, Telesco, we were kind of getting on him a little bit for depth, but like finding Glaze in the third round, I mean, he looks like a ball player. I didn't see it when they drafted him. I thought it was a huge reach and everything, but there's like run plays where he was just like locking up on people and really looking like he'd been in the league for a while. So, I have my problems with this team, but then there's also talent that I haven't seen in a while on this team. So I'm like so conflicted. Again, we're kind of leaving quarterback out of this. We understand that that's a need on this team, but like there are like certain parts I'm like, yeah, but there's some good athletes on this team, but then I really hope they're active in the next 2 weeks. I really do. I hope they can make those kind of savvy moves to create some depth on this team, because there's just no scenario, like you said, there's no scenario where they don't have like good scrappy depth at every position. If you're not going to have the quarterback, you have to do that. It's either or if you're going to be successful.
Yeah, I see a lot of people talking about Dylan Lobby. What were you guys' thoughts on him today? I know he had the fumble, but I honestly thought he looked good before he fumbled.
He looked really good.
Even on the fumble, he made 2 guys miss, and then he fumbled it. I'm like, damn it, dude! Like, are you kidding? I'm like, because a lot of people I know have been frustrated with him, but like if you actually look at like the numbers on PFF, like he has like I don't remember that specifically, but it's like 16 total yards, but like 23 yards after contact. So like, he's fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage at this point. But I mean, like I said, like he had a couple nice runs. There was one where he literally had to make someone miss in the backfield. I think he ended up picking up the first down, had like another 8-yard run. The catch, like I said, he forced 2 missed tackles and then just got to hold on to the ball. But yeah, if you take, I mean, obviously the fumble's huge. You can't have that, but if you take that away, it was a good night for him.
Yeah, and I saw those screens that Britton Brown had, and I just thought of like Lauby in those positions. And to be fair, Britton Brown made some nice plays on those screens, but I just thought of Lauby, like I can see like long touchdowns from him, and really nice plays. And you're gonna fumble that again. You're going against that Niners first team defense for the most part. You get the ball stripped from you. It happens. It sucks, right? If that ball goes out of bounds, a lot of people probably don't care, but it got recovered. And it results in preseason or not really it's all about like, do I see it or is it just not there? And with Lauby, there's something there. I think he's going to need to bulk up a little bit, though. He does look a little smaller than I thought.
Yeah.
Like I thought he was a little more like rocked up a little bit, but I think he's going to need to get a little bit bigger.
Man, this is the longest preseason game ever. This game's
really long. I felt like halftime was like an hour too.
This game is long.
The last preseason game. I feel like the last preseason game is always like this. Yeah.
Oh, it's just long. It's just like this game is still on. Like
I'm hoping they're ready to get a possession here. I need one more like Carter Bradley, like Matt McGloin style. Just he kind of reminds me of Matt McGloin a little bit.
I mean, Carter Bradley has a big arm though. Yeah, that too. But he has a big arm. You noticed it on film. Like I was watching last week, man. He has a cannon. He just throws to Ramel Keaton too much. I think it's a problem. He needs to figure that out. He needs to stop throwing to
Were they like roommates or something at camp?
I guess they like work out after practice and shit.
Yeah.
But again, why would he Keaton keep screwing him like that?
Yeah. Exactly.
Whoever, if they are friends, you'd be like, Carter Bradley, you need to keep better company. That guy keeps screwing you over. Stop throwing him the damn ball.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What do you guys think of I mean, I know it's not about this team, but what do you guys think of like Purdy playing like as much as he did today? I felt like it was weird because he was getting hit pretty good. And I thought the defensive line was getting pretty good pressure on Purdy, because I think they wanted they wanted to turn some guys loose and kind of get some free releases and stuff and some kind of unblocked looks. And I thought it was kind of crazy that they kept Purdy out there, because that could have gone bad.
I can't say I watched a ton of 49ers preseason games, believe it or not, but I remember a few years ago when when I went to the game, like when they were playing the Raiders, Shanahan likes to keep like the starting offense in for like the first quarter of the last preseason game for some reason. I think it's just a weird thing that he likes to do. again, can't say I watched a ton of it, but like I think that's just kind of his thing is he likes guys to play in that last game for a little bit. I don't know. So
yeah. They were rushing good though. I thought they got good pressure on him. They just need another nose tackle.
They need Brandon Ayuk, bro. That's what they need. Let's keep it real. They need Brandon Ayuk if they're gonna do anything this season.
Oh, the Niners do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, he might get paid after this.
Yeah, man. I don't know. All right, let's get some of these questions. We got some questions here. It's a lot of fans are still watching the game. We got some Raiders faithful that love watching the fourth quarter preseason. So, how many seasons should TT get to build a roster before he gets all the blame for any shortcomings?
I mean, you can start blaming him now. I mean, I don't know. Like, you look at who he drafts. I don't blame him for not getting a quarterback. That's something I don't think you can put on him. Like, there was no move there. Last year, the move was the Stroud trade that didn't happen, which I still don't know I don't know how close that actually was, but whatever.
Yeah.
Or Bryce Young or whatever. Any of these quarterbacks, that he wasn't here for that. That's the thing you can't put on him. But if I'm going to judge him off this draft class, which I like, and I'm a fan of pretty much top to bottom at this point. But yeah, I mean, if they have an obvious leak in the secondary that's just not just an absolute liability in the secondary, we'll be looking at him and his $34 million that he's just sitting on right now and being like, why didn't you go get this guy? That's the stuff you can put on him this year. I mean, that's fair to say, right?
I mean, I just feel like you got to give a guy at least like 3 years to be able to build the team. Like when you take it over and like you got to build it in like your own mold. I feel like you got to give him at least like 3 years before you can really like judge it and evaluate it. Like let him get his first draft class like to that point of like those make and break years. But I mean, like the point that like I can't like really argue against is like you said, the $30 million that they just sat on and didn't do anything with when we heard pretty much all off season about the Jimmy Garoppolo stuff about how they're going to extend guys and they don't even do that. Like that's the part that's frustrating right now that I can't really defend. It's like you have depth issues, like we've all said, you have depth issues, and you sat on all this cap space. Like at some point, you got to be a little bit aggressive. I know he's a conservative guy, and I don't mind that for my GM.
Yeah,
but at some point, you got to spend some money.
Yeah, go get a corner.
Go ahead,
no, that's it. Go get a corner. Yeah, just go get one.
Yeah, it's especially when you over. I mean, because for Christian Wilkins, he did overpay for Christian Wilkins, right? And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have paid him that much, but I mean, he did give him more than what the market was actually saying that he was going to get. So if he has a willingness to overpay for him, then man, you got to spend some of this money. That's how I feel about it, man. You know what I mean? So because if you're saving it for like a quarterback next year, I don't know what your plan is, but yeah, I need you to do something here.
It's Josh Allen. That's okay. It's Tommy. Everyone knows it's how we all know the elephant in the room is that they're saving for Josh Allen. It's abundantly clear if you look at my Twitter timeline. That's the move. Rome wasn't built in a day. I get it, but it's just
Josh Allen's going to retire, and Glen's going to be sitting there and be like, you know what?
You never know, man.
Just because he's 47 years old coaching high school football doesn't mean he can't help the Raiders. Yeah.
What do you say? Give him his plan. It's 2 weeks before the season. What the fuck? I don't know. We don't. That's what we're talking about. We don't know what he's waiting for, man. We're not sure here. We're not sure.
No,
I still can't believe this game's not over. This game is still going.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. All right. How's Carter Bradley doing? I mean, he was doing all right.
It's the roller coaster, man.
I'm sorry. This made me laugh. Could Carter Bradley read cover 3?
Been my question since day one.
I don't know. Carter Bradley's read is just rip it.
Yeah.
No matter what, rip it. Just let it rip, baby.
Let it rip. Which I kind of like, man. If you're third stringer, like, why the hell are you checking down? What the hell are you checking down for?
We all want to see that. It's like at the end of the day, bro, like Motley Crue Kickstart My Heart's playing. Just let it go. Like just that's all I want to see. We're down. If you're ever going to be the quarterback 3 on this team and you get in there on an injury thing, let's see what happens. Throw it up there. Let's get some PIs. Let's get some, tip ball touchdowns. Like, that's what we want to see.
Yeah. What else? Dalton Wagner. When I watched him on film, he looked pretty good. I texted Matt one time that he's looking pretty damn good, but
He
we'll
hit
see it.
Sincere McCormick today. He tackled him. That was funny.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in good position. He made a nice block and then tackled Sincere McCormick, which, I mean, he's just big.
Hey, if you can get a pancake and a tackle on the same play, why not fill up the stat sheet?
You think
I know,
Sincere
man.
McCormick could be stashed? I kind of like him as a stash.
I feel like he's been stashed for 2 years now, right? Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you think Minshew is on a tight leash?
4 weeks. I think he has a 4-week plan. If Minshew is less than 2-2, then
what? So let me ask this: what if they start 0-2? Like, and it's like not in the offense doesn't do anything. Do you think it'll go 4 games?
So you're losing a division game and a conference game, if this is what you're saying. So that's Chargers and Ravens, and then who do they play week 3?
Panthers.
No, I think okay. If he starts that's why I say 4-week plan, but like 3-week. If you're 0-3, so because you lose those 2 games, and then it's like, if you have a get right game against the Panthers, then you're gonna get the 4th game. Just because that's what you would do in that scenario.
Yeah.
After the 4th game, again, I don't think the idea that I didn't get any vibe from Pierce saying that this is my guy for 17 games. I will lay on train tracks for him. I didn't hear that from Antonio Pierce. So I'm going to say it's they're going to be on a quarter system kind of.
Yeah. And I think that's basically what he said, right? Like when he made the decision, he's like, yeah, I look at this in phases, and then kind of try to backtrack and be like, well, he's our starter. We want to ride him out for the season. It's like, no, you kind of told us the truth from the beginning there. But yeah, I think you got to give him at least 3 weeks before you give him the hook. And yeah, that Panthers game might be the swing game if the first 2 are rough. If you can't get it right against the Panthers, now we have some problems.
Yeah, and then hearing Tom Telesco in the booth, like it made it seem like that they didn't know who to pick. Like they're like, yeah, I mean, they both look good the first game, and the second game, they didn't look too good, so we just went with the veteran guy for now. Like, bro, like they should have played this game, in my opinion. Like, if you weren't sure yet, you should have had them out there this game playing at least the first half, so we can get another game. But they were like dead set, like we're going to pick after the Cowboys game, and I think that was like they shouldn't have been set like that. They should have been like, let's see how this goes, and then kind of go with the flow type of thing and let somebody win the job. But once they put that deadline on themselves, they had to pick somebody, and that's where we're at. So,
and Carter Bradley is shredding right now.
And
Ramel Keaton looks like Calvin Johnson right now. So ever since I told him that he's not an NFL player, he just looks like Calvin Johnson. This is classic Raider preseason right here.
What happened to Tulu Griffin? Where has he been at?
I think he's
played
been
last
the whole time. I don't know.
Yeah, he's making plays right now. But yeah, no, Tulu Griffin played last game. He returned a kick. I saw it. He did. But yeah, Ramel Keaton is just out of control right now. I don't know. This is classic. This is just Raiders preseason. It's like, remember, like for like 10 years, this is like the preseason games we got out of the Raiders. I think that was why fans were so discouraged, because there wasn't the Chris Warren game. There wasn't any of this stuff the last, rest in peace, but like George Atkinson the third, those games where guys just went off that aren't going to do anything, but it was fun to get excited about. That didn't really happen the last couple games. So today we get that a little bit, which I think fans are a little bit happier with this game, I think.
All right, let's get a couple more questions before we get out of here. This is a good question. Lack of the time of JPJ and Miller to play together to get tandem blocks, timing down on zone runs. That's a good question. What do you guys think about that?
Well, they were both injured at the same time. Could have been working on the side together. I guess it's a little positive.
I hope they don't rush Jackson Powers Johnson.
I don't think it doesn't sound like they will. Like they didn't make it seem like he's going to start week 1. And I mean, I've never really been too worried about Miller like missing time, because he's a vet, he's a stud, been one of the better left tackles in the league for a while. But yeah, like JPJ missed the reps as a rookie, like not exactly what you were hoping for. And again, I think Marcus and I are both on agreement on this. Probably Glenn, you're in the same boat too. I'm deathly afraid of Cody Whitehair starting. So the faster JPJ can get on the field, the better. But Yeah, his injury was frightening for me, and him missing all the time. It in some ways like gave me flashbacks to Tyree Wilson last year, where it's like, oh god, this rookie's missing all this time. This is not good.
Yeah, for sure. Would you play Gainer over Diablo? That's not gonna happen. But
no, Gainer's
not yet.
I mean, you want Gainer to have time to become, to get used to it. That the time that Diablo had, like you want him to have that kind of time. We don't want to rush these guys. It's kind of what we just talked about with Telesco. You don't want that to be like your next man up. You want him to be the next man up.
By the way, I might be the.
Oh my gosh, Keaton! What? Dude, this guy turned into Calvin Johnson after I hated on him. This is insane. I like this dude one-handed catch. This dude did the Calvin Johnson Georgia Tech one-handed catch over the middle.
Wow.
Like what? As we wrote him off, he just went off. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why preseason's fun. We didn't get this the last couple of games. Like this is why you watch it.
Ramel Keaton became the story at the end of this pod, man.
I'm glad he's doing it against defenders who are currently updating the resume after the end of this game.
Yeah, exactly.
That sales job's still available.
That's so crazy. Yeah.
There's no overtime. It's a tie. Wait, hold on. He didn't kick a field goal, did he? Is he to kick a field goal?
I don't
know. Before we get out of here, what was I say? If somebody was asking, some guy kept commenting about AP's time management. So what do you guys think about that? Because I keep hearing about that. Wow, that was a crazy catch.
Did you guys see it? I don't see, as far as time management, like what's the issue?
No way. He kicked the fucking field goal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a foul.
He kicked a field goal to tie it.
At the next coaches summit where they all take that picture together, people are gonna be like, "Hey man, I'm never gonna forget that."
No fucking way, yo. Oh,
he knows he's wrong for that.
Tie game. It's just
Hail Mary with Carter Bradley. You hail
Mary.
Just
come on, dog.
Come on.
You don't kick no fucking field goal.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Now I have a problem. Yes. The answer now is now I have a problem with this time, man.
We're like, whoa.
I found out in real time what everyone's issue is. This sucks. Don't do that. Yeah.
All right, guys. All right. It's late and probably start hitting out of here. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Kind of quick. Like I said, football season is here. That's all I'm excited about. Really, I'm fucking excited about it, man. And so I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited for football season. Hopefully, we start previewing the Chargers probably this next week. We got 2 weeks to do it, kind of though, I guess. But we'll start doing some deep diving into Greg Roman. I guess we got to watch a lot of those handoffs that we're gonna see, a lot of those slant flats. So we're out of here, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this and the tie game in overtime. I can't believe he's kicking a fucking field goal here, bro. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
What a beast.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Peace,
guys.
See ya.